KFBK, Sacramento's News Radio. So as we were telling you, breaking news now, a deal has been reached between Israel and Hamas to release hostages. Israel's cabinet approved the deal Tuesday night, according to NBC. There's still a 24-hour period where families of victims of Hamas could appeal to the Supreme Court in Israel. The deal would include a multi-day ceasefire, around 50 Israeli and international hostages to be freed in different waves, with more eventually to follow. And it would then include exchanging Palestinian women and children currently detained in Israel for hostages being held by Hamas. So stay tuned to KFBK. We'll bring you more details on this story as it develops. Meantime, I'm Steve Telliano in for Kitty O'Neill, and the KFBK Afternoon News continues now with a check of your money news. Here's Kelly Brothers over at Cap Trust.
Ford scaling back their plans for a huge Michigan battery plant for EVs. They say demand has gotten very soft in the EV world, and also their labor costs are going up. They say when you add in the new contracts that were just negotiated after the union went on strike, that's going to add $850 to $900 per vehicle. So obviously it's going to cost more to make these cars, and it's the demand for them is really pulling back. So they are going to scale back their plans for a big $3.5 billion plant. It'll probably be about a $2 billion plant. Market overall today, a little bit lower. Weak retail sales. The Fed in their minutes not mentioning anything about rate cuts. Dow down 62, 35,088. NASDAQ down 84. S&P down 9 points. Gold today up 21 at 2,001 an ounce. 10-year bond yield 4.39%.
And the report brought to you by Maverick Electric Heating and Air.
Building a better Sacramento on the KFBK Afternoon News with Kitty O'Neill, presented by Native Subaru.
Well, Laney's B&L is having a special holiday event this coming weekend, and they're calling it Friendsgiving. And it features the spectacular plant-based cooking of nationally recognized chef Nina Curtis, who led the first plant-based state dinner at the White House. Nina Curtis will be serving up a 5-course meal this Saturday night, highlighted by a main course that she says you will not want to miss.
The celery root schnitzel, and that's going to be served with river dog potatoes and sauteed greens, and it's just going to be smothered in this beautiful mushroom gravy. And then the grand finale is going to be a prickly pear lemon zest bar with coconut whipped cream.
And the event is an opportunity to come together in the spirit of Friendsgiving, she says.
I've experienced firsthand either working in the culinary industry on holidays and being away from my family. Sometimes you can just feel quite alone, right? So Patrick and I have been talking about doing a collaboration, and he said, why don't we do a Friendsgiving and do it on Saturday after Thanksgiving? And I said, that's a brilliant idea, because I know people are working on Thanksgiving, and by Saturday they don't want any more turkey or Thanksgiving food. And it's a great way to introduce people to whole plant-based food.
So tickets are $75 a plate. Reservations are required, and you can make yours online at mulvaney'sbnl.com, mulvaney'sbl.com, for this Saturday in that special Friendsgiving event. Coming up on the KFBK Afternoon News, top stories plus traffic and weather together, and we'll go in-depth on rising COVID risk because people are getting together over the holidays. Stay tuned for more of Sacramento's news, traffic, and weather. It's also available on your smartphone. Anytime you need to be in touch, you can with the free iHeartRadio app. You can download the app and then listen to KFBK News Radio.
Ways to be in touch with KFBK News Radio.
I use the iHeartRadio app.
Tap the red mic on the full screen player.
I'm just trying to find out if anybody's going to call. Just go to the iHeart app, which is free. You tap the little microphone, and you can tell us what you think right there.
Broadcasting from the GuardingYourNestEgg.com studio, KFBK News Radio.
The holiday buyback event is here with Northwest Exteriors. Christina here. For every window you replace, Northwest Exteriors is buying your old windows back for $109 each. New energy-efficient windows can save you up to 30% on your utility bills and add curb appeal and keep the cold air out as the season changes. In addition to paying you for your old windows, Northwest Exteriors is donating $20 per window to the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station. They honor and support military men and women. Northwest Exteriors offers free estimates, so save money this holiday season and help donate to a great cause with the Holiday Buyback event. 888-TRUST-NW. That's 888-TRUST-NW. Or visit trustnorthwest.com.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app for local news, breaking news, traffic, and weather. KFBK, Sacramento's News Radio, 93.1 FM, 1530 AM.
Good evening. It is 5:30. I'm Steve Taliano in for Kitty O'Neill with the KFBK Afternoon News. Here are stories now trending. There's word of a deal between Israel and Hamas to release some hostages and for a temporary ceasefire. We'll tell you more coming up. California reservoirs are in good shape as we start to head into the state's rainy season, and the Sacramento Kings winning streak comes to an end, sadly. Say about that and more coming up right now. Time to check on traffic and weather together. We do every 10 minutes here on KFBK, and here is Dana Head.
I'm sure they'll rebound. Brought to you by ChooseMag.org, and right now eastbound on 50 southbound 99 connector. We had a motorcycle and rider down in the roadway at this time. This just happened a few minutes ago, and there's an ambulance responding out there, and I don't believe, CHP is not there yet either. Again, eastbound 50, just west of southbound 99, motorcycle and rider down in the roadway at this time. Watch out. And when you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life or your choices with just one wrong pill. Find medically proven treatment options at ChooseMat.org. Traffic on the 10s every 10 minutes, mornings and afternoons. Dana Hess, KFBK News Radio, 93.1 FM, 1530 AM.
Now here is your KFBK forecast.
Tonight will be mainly clear and chilly. We'll see a nighttime low of 36 to 40. Tomorrow, partly sunny. Tomorrow will reach a high of 65 to 69. Thanksgiving Day, Thursday, sunny skies. It'll be warm. Thursday's high, 71 to 75. I'm AccuWeather's Drew Shannon on KFBK, Sacramento's News Radio.
Currently 56 degrees at KFBK, Sacramento's News Radio. Our top story this hour, we're getting word that the Israeli cabinet has accepted a hostage-swapping deal with Hamas, and there will also be a temporary ceasefire. We'll get the very latest on this coming up from ABC News in just a few minutes. Meanwhile, the Pentagon says it is stressing the need to preserve Palestinian civilian lives in its near-daily talks with Israel over the ongoing war with Hamas. CBS News correspondent Allison Keyes has more on those discussions.
Reporters pressed Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Singh over what the U.S. is saying to Israel about the possible larger risk to Palestinian civilians as thousands move south in Gaza.
That's not something that we want to see, of course.
Singh says in frequent conversations with Israel,
We are absolutely reiterating the need to uphold humanitarian laws and the law of armed conflict.
she adds that Hamas is using civilians as shields. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
And the Department of Defense, of course, says they're not controlling the Israeli operations, just trying to advise on them. Now let's get more news at KFBK's Joe Michaels.
Steve, Northern California reservoir levels are high thanks to recent rainstorms. Compared to last year, when the reservoirs were only at 2/3 of average, they're now at 124% of average. Cal Matters reports that this is because of heavy winter storms in January that replenished the lakes. But the reservoirs aren't overflowing. They have space reserved for flood control to prevent damage from storm runoff. Lake Oroville currently at 66% of capacity. That's 132% of historical average. Folsom Lake, 52% of capacity, 127% of the historical average. Shasta Lake, 68% capacity, again 127% of historical average. California is expecting more rain from El Nino, but that doesn't mean a wet winter is certain, and there's no precipitation in the forecast for the next week.
KFBK News Radio.
Sacramento Kings update.
The Sacramento Kings' 6-game winning streak is over. It came to a crashing halt last night when the Kings fell to the New Orleans Pelicans 129-93 last night in New Orleans. Coach Mike Brown says it was the Pelicans' night.
Didn't matter who was in the game from the start to the end, they kicked our behind. You gotta give them credit from Willie Green, kicked my behind on down.
The Kings' record now 8 wins, 5 losses. Kings and Pelicans play each other again in New Orleans tomorrow night before the Kings head to Minnesota for a Friday night game against the Timberwolves. 5:34 on the KFBK Afternoon News.
Thank you, Joe. Now the top global and national stories on KFBK News Radio, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Dozens of hostages held by Hamas may be a step closer to freedom. The Israeli War Cabinet approved a ceasefire with Hamas, which includes the release of about 50 hostages. But even if it comes to fruition, ABC's Matt Gutman in Tel Aviv says that doesn't mean the war will be over.
Prime Minister Netanyahu vowing the war will not stop until every hostage is freed. Saying we are at war and we will continue the war until we achieve all our objectives. Netanyahu also thanking President Biden for his help. The president has been personally involved in negotiations, signaling optimism today.
We're now very close, very close. But I don't want to get into the details of things because nothing is done until it's done.
At least 10 Americans are still missing.
The deal is being brokered by the U.S. and Qatar, with the White House keeping close tabs on developments. Hamas is believed to be holding about 240 hostages. Daria Aldinger, ABC News.
So that goes right into our afternoon news poll question for today. With this deal being discussed between Israel and Hamas, do you think it's a good deal to release 3 Palestinian prisoners for every 1 hostage release? A 3-for-1 swap, a good idea? You can let us know yes, it might aid in more prisoner releases, in fact. Or no, it's just an incentive for Hamas to take more prisoners, or not sure it's going to matter because this war is probably going to continue anyway. We'd like to hear from you. You can let us know on KFBK.com, the afternoon news with Kitty O'Neill page there. You can let us know on the X app. We'd like to hear from you there. Or you can also talk more specifically about your reasons by dialing pound 250 on your smartphone, saying open mic. Or on the free iHeartRadio app, you can tap that mic button and record your comments with KFBK's Tap and Talk. Just ahead, we're going to check on traffic and weather together here on KFBK News Radio.
Trusted veteran Sacramento news voices.
I'm Christina Mendonça.
I'm Sam Shane.
I'm Kitty O'Neill.
News voices you can trust.
Been here for decades.
We live here too.
Sacramento's our home.
We've got you covered on how it impacts you locally.
News from your neighborhood.
KFBK, Sacramento's News Radio.
Balance of Nature is fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I'm Carolyn. I've been in private practice of physician's physical therapy for 35 years.
And you're going to come in for free.
Yep, perfect. I open up at 4 a.m. and I'll go on till 10 a.m. and it's day after day. And as you can see by the equipment here, we are intensely active. People watch, they observe. When people say, Carolyn, what's your secret? And I say it's from proper diet, proper exercise, and of course through Balance of Nature. I'm 60, but since taking Balance of Nature, I feel the energy energy level of 27. I've been taking Balance of Nature for several years, and I love it. I endorse it, I believe in it, and I would recommend it.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order. And get this special offer by using discount code Sacramento.
Christina Martinez here. The ongoing health epidemic in California continues to overwhelm the behavioral health workforce, which impacts the delivery of mental health services. With half of our children and adolescents struggling with varying degrees of mental health challenges, getting proper support has become more difficult than ever. But that's about to change. California is leading the way with the certified wellness coach profession to support schools and communities alike. It's time to spread the wellness. Sponsored by California Department of Healthcare Access and Information.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
More than just a headline, giving you depth and perspective. The KFBK Afternoon News with Kitty O'Neill continues on KFBK Sacramento News Radio.
540 now, KFBK Sacramento's News Radio. Checking out traffic and weather together. Here is Dan ahead.
And it's brought to you by your Future Ford. Right now, downtown of the Split, northbound Cap City, 24 minutes. It has been a bit of a jog this afternoon. Split to Roseville at 10 minutes, eastbound 80, and we did have a situation out there. It looks like it may have been cleaned up at this time at Douglas Boulevard with injuries. And a little sluggish there in the area, but I think they are getting that taken care of. 10 minutes as you go out to Douglas Boulevard. Downtown to Elk Grove is 20 minutes on I-5 and about 19 minutes now on 99. Downtown to Folsom, 22 minutes. Really heavy to get up to Bradshaw, Stockton, really. Excuse me. Thank you. Stockton, hold there, right there. Let me take over. No, just give me a new cough button. All right. No, it's about 22 minutes. If you're going the other way, it is going to be kind of sluggish there starting at, looks like Watt Avenue all the way into the downtown area. Go to Woodland, 20 minutes north on I-5 and 14 minutes downtown to Davis, westbound 80. Now is the time to buy a Ford at the biggest sale of the year happening now at your Future Ford dealers. Ford you want is a Future Ford, 2 locations to serve you. Future Ford at Sacramento at I-80 in Madison, and Future Ford Lincoln in the Roseville Auto Mall. Traffic on the 10s every 10 minutes, mornings and afternoons. Dana Hess, KFBK News Radio, 93.1 FM, 1530 AM.
All right, thank you, Dana. Check back in with you in 10 minutes. Make sure you're all right. Right now, here is the KFBK weather forecast.
Mainly clear and chilly tonight. We'll reach a nighttime low of 36 to 40. Partly sunny skies tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll see a high of 65 to 69. Sunny and warm for your Thanksgiving Day holiday Thursday. Expect a high Thursday of 71 to 75. I'm AccuWeather's Drew Shannon on KFBK, Sacramento's News Radio.
Currently 56 degrees at KFBK, Sacramento's News Radio. Well, multiple reports now saying that Israel and Hamas have reached a deal for a temporary ceasefire and to exchange 3 Palestinian prisoners held in Israeli jails for every 1 hostage that Hamas releases from Gaza. So our afternoon news poll question for you: do you think this 3-to-1 swap is a good idea? Here's what some folks have had to say by calling our pound 250 line or letting us know through the iHeartRadio app.
My understanding is that the people that Israel will be releasing are women and young people. They were arrested for, protesting basically against Israel. These aren't Hamas terrorists that they're going to be releasing. If that's the case, I don't have a problem with them releasing people, but I sure hope it works out well for them.
After the Afghanistan fiasco, I think Hamas and allies have gotten a full measure of the weakness of the Biden leadership team. have a bad track record of trade in this country. For example, we traded the lives of 54,000 of our sons to the Viet Cong, and all we got was a helicopter ride off the American Embassy on April 30th, 1975.
And one more opinion.
Agreement. I don't think a 3-to-1 ratio is equal at all. Really, it just needs to be a 1-for-1. They start playing into their tactics, they're going to see how far they can get away with stuff. And it's not